Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to the show. Hope you're excited that it is Friday morning. I know it was the last month was a tough month, and happy Friday. Oops, that's me. Just want to make sure I'm live on the right group. Looks like I'm on the right page here. So again, thank you guys for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about positivity, surrounding yourself with positiveness. Morning, Mom. And that's it. That's what I think. That's going to be a good topic. Good morning, Kathy. If you guys are coming in and out, you're welcome to say hi. And you, of course, you're always welcome to leave when you need to leave. But I'm going to be here for probably about 45 minutes just hanging out. It's Friday, trying to spread some sunshine. I think we could all use some positive conversations. So that's going to be our main topic today. But if there's any questions, what's up, Dave? If there's any questions that you guys have that you like to discuss, I'm always open. I'm always welcome. Hope you guys enjoyed Easter. Easter just passed. The last show. You know, it's funny, like these shows are always, they're not planned specifically. I don't have specific subtopics. I have a theme that I want to discuss or usually want to talk about. And the show is natural. It's organic. It goes wherever it goes. And last time, we didn't talk about Easter at all. Dave says it's Friday. Yes, sir. It's tuna. It's Tuna Friday at Subway. Morning, Annette. Tuna. Meatball. So I gotta tell you real quick. Dave and I went to college together, and we were in a couple of different college towns, and one of the, like, we didn't have any money. We were broke college kids, and it'd be Subway was cheap. It was like $2.50 for a foot long or something, and it was like tuna. It was like Tuna Friday, so every Friday we'd go and grab a tuna sandwich. But I don't know, Dave, if you had meatball sandwiches. I don't remember if you had meatball sandwiches when we're supposed to have tuna, or every other time that it wasn't like Tuna Friday, you had meatball. But Dave would order the meatball sub, and every time he would be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have had the meatball." And then the next time we go, he'd order the meatball. Good morning, Jane. Jane, what day is it in New Brunswick? I'm just curious. Meatball was heavy after my night out. Yeah. Meatball would be heavy when you are not hungover. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, there was something else. Oh, the sugar. Oh my gosh, the sugar detox is going absolutely bonkers. So I'm doing the best I can to keep up, and we're getting the orders out. We're getting the orders out. Don't worry. I know people are like, hey, I need to sign up. I need to register. I need to get in. Soft launch is tomorrow, so we're hoping to get everybody in and prepared. But a bunch of people sent me messages last night when I was sleeping because I go to sleep early, and then I try to log off at a certain time. So I woke up and I got all these messages, and I was like, I have a life to do. So, but don't worry, we're gonna get you your product. We're gonna get you signed up and registered. If those of you that ship, if those of you that need to be shipped to, it's Friday. I got it, Jane. I sent you a message. I don't know if you saw it this morning. Read my last message, maybe, if you're not sure what I'm talking about days. So if we're shipping to you in Alberta, we have a really awesome company. It's only $13 and it's overnight, and that's a really good price, and it's overnight. So next day. So even if you're signing up, if you signed up yesterday, let's say for example, you're gonna get your product on Monday, and our official launch is Monday. And let's say for example, we're still gonna get people that are gonna sign up Saturday, Sunday for sure. It happens every time, even though we've been trying to push this whole week to get in early, last week as well. But even if, let's say you order, we're going to post our grocery shopping list this weekend. We're going to post an outline. Sunday, we're going to go live. And then Monday's the official start day. So let's just say, for example, you sign up on Saturday, Sunday, or today, and we get your product out on your package out on Monday. You're still going to get it on Tuesday if you're in Alberta, which is pretty cool, which is where most of our people come from. So you can still join. You're not going to be far behind. That's okay, Jane. Dorothy says, I'm here. Good morning. Good morning to you, Dorothy. So that's all I'm saying is that, and then if we're shipping a package to you and you're further away, it's just going to take a bit more time, but you still have your grocery list, still have your support group, and we still have our lives. Dorothy and I are going to go live every morning for 10 days. It's actually longer than 10 days. And we have people already asking questions about Friday, asking questions, hey, can we start Friday? And I'm like, no. It's at 10 days, and we're already starting a few days early. So we're starting on Saturday, and it's supposed to start on Monday. So from Monday, we're going to go 10 days. And then we're going to go a couple days after. We always go after to allow time for questions, for people to catch up, and for prizes, to give away prizes. So it's going to be 14 to 16 days, probably. That's how it usually goes. And I just think it's funny how people are still like, actually, I'm going to need you to get me stuff early. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. This is our start date. This is our end date. And then when it ends, it ends. And people are going to ask those questions, which is fine. We've done these numerous times. We know how it goes, and questions are more than welcome. But at this point, we have about 40 people that we need to accommodate. So packages, questions, getting them in the group, making sure they're in the right place. And then there's going to be more for sure these next few days. So, but we're excited. We're super excited. We've done many detoxes in the past. Our last sugar detox in January went bonkers. We had over 60 people in that group. And then this one here, I was hoping to have a smaller group, which doesn't mean, and I feel bad when I say that, only because people are like, oh, hey, if you have room, or I know I was in a past one, so I don't want to take up an extra space. People are amazing. I only said that because we want to offer that personalization. So we want people to be serious. We want people to make a change and come in to put in 100% effort. And those of you that have been in our past groups, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you in our groups. It's just a nice reset. It doesn't matter what situation that you're in. Everyone could use some accountability. Everyone could use some support. Everyone could use some direction and some help getting going. So, just because you join or just because you've joined in the past doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. We should continue to push forward and find these things to carry on with. So if you have any questions about that sugar detox, you can let us know. But I know that Annette's jumped in there with us. Jane's in there with us. And then I don't know who else is. We got a bunch of people in here that are silently watching, which is perfectly okay. If you'd like to say hi, it's always nice to know who's watching, where you're watching from. That keeps the conversation going. But I do want to talk about positivity, and I've talked about environment in the past, but it was a really challenging month for a lot of people. Last month was I don't even know what month it is. May, April, no. It was March. March was and I hear it like from a ton of people that March was a tough month, and it wasn't just nutrition, it wasn't just fitness, it wasn't just jobs and environment and the economy and announcements. It was so many things put together. It's funny. It's funny. Those people in our fitness family, we know when people are kind of falling off a bit. So I'll go and message individuals. I guess what we do, we offer accountability, we offer support. So in most cases, if you're not saying anything, if you're not showing up for workouts, we do live workouts twice a week. And then Dorothy does a live workshop, nutrition or cooking with Dorothy, every Monday night. So if people aren't showing up to those kind of things, we know, in most cases, we know people kind of falling off a bit. They need some help getting going. So I'll message people. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you. Haven't seen a post. And then often people don't answer. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's like it's an accountability check. They know it's accountability check. I know it's accountability check. And then it's like, the when you watch those like movies like Jurassic Park or some like scary movie, and they're like, "Don't move. If you don't move, they won't see me." So I'm not like, I used to get offended, and I'm getting better at it. I'm not so much offended. I think it's polite to respond, but I also think it's entertaining when people like, you're like, "Hey, how you doing? I just want to offer a little bit of extra support. No, I know I haven't seen you in the group, just for an example," and they're like, no response. I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry, we're still here. And then it could be like they may answer, or we may catch them in the group, and it's and that we just have a regular conversation. It's not like nobody's upset, or like I'm not that offended. I'm just like, we both know what's going on. So you could say what's going on. Good morning, Sue. And then we had got Joanne jumped in here as well, and John's in here. Morning, John. And then Jane says, "I need to reset since Easter. Ate 50 pounds of chocolate this month." Oh my gosh, Jane. Jane, you got to get rid of those. You got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of the chocolate. Jane like holds on. She holds on to the goods. When we go and visit at Christmas, it's like weeks after, you still have the pie on the table, Jane. You got to get rid of the pie. And in this case, you got to get rid of the chocolates. The longer the chocolates sit on the table, the longer the temptation is there. The longer it's funny how most people are like, "Oh, I just do the 80-20 thing." And I'm like, but the chocolates are there 100% of the time. So, what I think is a really cool thing. And I'd like to do like some type of challenge just to open people's eyes a bit. But if you put like chopped up veggies, and I know this doesn't sound as great as, when I was growing up, my grandma often, she would have like a little bowl of chips on the table. I love chips. I'm a chip fanatic. So we'd sit at the table and I'd eat the chips, and then grandma would often refill the chip bowl. And don't get me wrong, there was fruit. I would always eat fruit. There's always other stuff, but there was chips. And then she had like a little candy dish. I think that's just normal for a lot of people. So, but what if you flip the script just a little bit? And what if you had a bowl of chopped veggies? Crazy, right? And people are like, no one's going to touch the chopped veggies. But I'm telling you, or even chopped fruit. And I know some people aren't like fruit people or veggie people, but if you chop them up and if you make it convenient, one of the things that I like Dave's family does is they do they chop up cucumber, and then they squeeze the lemon or lime, Dave, and then salt, or like a special salt. The special salt probably isn't all that clean, but if you sprinkle some salt on there and you put it on the table, everyone eats it. The kids gone. So if you make it more convenient, people, including yourself, will go and grab something. And you won't even think about it. Like if you put a bowl of strawberries and blueberries, the kids are on the table. The kids are gonna eat it. But instead, we put candies, Cadbury Easter eggs, and of course they're gonna eat those. Dave says chili powder. Yeah, that's so good. Didn't they sell them on the streets? Did they sell that on the street in Huntington Park? I think that was the first place I saw it. I lived in Dave's parents' front house in LA, and they would push carts around, and they would sell tamales, they would sell corn on a stick, they would sell these cucumbers in a dish. They would walk up and down the street. So they would just walk right by the house and be like, "Hey, can I get one of those?" It was so cool. Like, no one does that. I think that'd be awesome if they actually would bring food around the neighborhoods. And because I grew up with just an ice cream truck. The only thing that came by your house was an ice cream truck. Well, these guys have all kinds of different food coming by their house. Dave says, "Yeah, that's common with the street vendors." I don't know why. I've never seen that. I've lived all over the place. I've lived all over the U.S. I've only lived in Alberta, in Canada, all over the U.S. and overseas, and I've only seen that in that neighborhood in L.A. But could you imagine doing that here, Dave, with all the money people have? People throw stuff away here. They throw furniture. I found a whole jar of coins. Someone was moving out and didn't want to do anything with the coins. And I was like, I'll take that. He's throwing away money. I'm gonna open up a new business and just walk down the street with food and drinks and see if people will buy. Oh my gosh. Okay, what a day. Thanks for all the tags, Dorothy. If anyone else wants to tag, if they know someone. I tried to do a little contest last time. Oh, Dorothy, we owe Stephanie O'Brien a bag of flakes. I tried to get everyone to tag last time, and I offered a little prize. And Stephanie was the only one that tagged, so she gets the little bag of bath flakes. Dorothy says, I finally feel like I got back. Then, boom, Tuesday happened. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was a tough one. That was a tough one for well, not just Albertans, it's across. Oh my gosh. Jane says, it's hard. My mother taught me never to throw food. Every time I throw out food, I feel guilty. Yeah, that's tough. But what about, yeah, you have to wait. But you have to wait. So, A, you could not buy it. And I don't think you're going to do that. And then, so B, you could consider the guilt for yourself and others that are eating things that don't make them feel good. So let's say you said you ate 50 pounds of chocolate over Easter. That probably doesn't make you feel good. So you have to weigh does it make me feel worse to throw it away or to eat it or to give it away or let other people eat it? I don't know. That could be an option. But then you're putting that onus on somebody else. Here, it's your problem now. So you could either not buy it or try to get past that guilt of, or you could put it in the freezer. That's something that Dorothy and I would do. Like if we know, if we know we have treats or people are giving away some, or we it doesn't happen so often anymore, but you go to a friend's, they give you dessert, then you put in the freezer. Like you have your slice, you put in the freezer, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. And then you're like, hey, do you remember that thing? And often it's so old, it's freezer burned and gone bad, so you have to throw it away. Or you pull it out, and then you have one slice, and then you put it back in the freezer. So it's not every single day. It's so difficult to avoid those temptations every day. Jane says maybe not quite 50. I know you were exaggerating. I was just saying that it's constant, but it's not just you, it's everyone. It's not, that's the problem with Easter, Christmas, holidays, vacations, birthdays. They never end. There's always something. And if we don't put an end to it immediately, then it's going to drag on. So that Easter, I don't know what's coming up next. Does anyone know what's coming up next? That Easter could drag into the next holiday, if you will. Morning, Jen. Haven't seen your name pop up for a while. Hope you're doing well. And Dorothy says, remember all the fruit trucks in Sri Lanka. Oh my gosh. The fruit trucks in Sri Lanka were amazing. And you know what the thing is that their fruit literally came off the tree. So it was a tree, it was a fruit plantation of some kind. So we went by papayas, for example. And we're driving down the road, and there's a fruit plantation there, and then there's a stand on the road, and then there's a family there selling the fruit. So they go and they chop it off the tree and put it on their table. It doesn't come from the other side of the world. It's not, don't get me wrong, I don't know if they spray or what they spray with or what their seeds are like. I don't know those specific details, but I'll tell you that it's a whole lot cleaner. Like, for example, they spray bananas so they don't ripen so quickly. So they pick them green, for example, so then all the sugars aren't abundant, let's say. And then they spray them so they don't ripen so quickly, because if they ripen too quickly, they'll go bad and they have to throw them away, they'll lose money. So they pick them green, they spray them, then they ship them across the country. and then we wait for them to ripen, and then those chemicals that they're spraying with, and then they don't taste as good because they were picked earlier. That was something that Shirley, so Dawn from Shirley's Greenhouse, she explained that to us, and she said, "We're like, well, why do your tomatoes taste so great?" And she said, "Because we're one of the few people that pick them when they're ripe. In most cases, you pick tomatoes when they're still green or when they're not ripe, and then they ship them." Sorry, I got messages coming in. I got sugar detox messages coming in. It's madness. I'll catch up with all those when I'm done. So she said that they pick them when they're ripe. So all the sugars are there. They're 100% ripe. They're ready to go. And if they go bad, and some do, then they try to give them away. They donate them. They discount them. But that's what people don't want, is they don't want to pick them when they're ripe because they have a shorter lifespan. But they taste much better because they're still on the vine, and the vine is still giving them the nutrients for a longer period of time, so they taste better. That's the same thing with fruit. So when we were in Sri Lanka, we were literally pulling things off trees, and then they would sell them. The bananas, my gosh, morning Casey. The bananas in Sri Lanka, I would eat like 6 a day. At least. I remember we pulled over, and I told the driver, we were driving we had like a van, and I was like, "Yeah, I got to get a papaya." My mouth was like watering. I saw these papayas, and these guys, I had a blue mohawk, and these guys were coming over, and we were taking pictures, and they probably don't see people with our skin color very often. We were in the jungle. We went to tourist places, but we stayed in the jungle, and we stayed in like a remote area. It wasn't like hotels or touristy. And so they thought we were like celebrities, or they treated us like celebrities, which is kind of funny. And we were taking pictures, and they brought their whole family. There's like 2 or 3 at the table, and they're like yelling for their friends and family to come. This one time, this isn't a joke. This one time we went in this little village, and this guy, so this little kid, we were playing cricket. You wouldn't even believe this. It's like the Field of Dreams, if you guys ever seen that movie with Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. We're in the jungle, literally in the jungle, and you walk up this hill, and there's this little school I would say in the woods, but it's not woody. It's whatever they have, bamboo. They don't have bamboo. Whatever their trees are, they have giant. Um, my gosh, jackfruit trees, and the trees are huge, and the jackfruits grow like this organically, like this. In most cases, at the grocery store, when you see those big giant peppers, that's a GMO crop. These ones are growing naturally in the jungle, just hanging off the trees. It was crazy. So, anyways, you climb up this hill. There's a little school there, and there's trees and green, and then there's this opening, and it's this big cricket field. It's like the Field of Dreams for cricket. So Dorothy says that's the tiniest school ever. I wanted to teach that. Dorothy did want to teach that. Dorothy's like, I could just teach here and we could live in the jungle. And I'm like, no, Dorothy. I don't want to live in the jungle. Mom, maybe now. Can I change my mind? Now how everything is? How crazy everything is. Dorothy and I are like, let's go back to the jungle. We're not coming out. Oh, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, that was a really cool experience. Yeah. Dorothy says our apartment is furnished with our neighbor's furniture. I missed that. Sorry. That is we did get furniture from our neighbors without question. We got a lot of stuff. When people are giving stuff away, people are throwing stuff away. When we moved here, we didn't have anything. I mean, talking about our LA place, we had nothing. This place was bare. We were sitting on nothing. We were sitting on the floor. We slept on the floor for 2 months. And Dorothy's like, I'm not sleeping on the floor anymore. And people here, like, they just give away stuff. They throw stuff out. They put it on the curb. So we got a bunch of stuff. Like these couches. We got really nice leather couches from the neighbor. He's just going to leave them on the curb. And I said, hey, are you using those? Are you taking those? Because he was moving. He had a big moving truck. And he's like, nah, I don't have any room. And I was like, can I have them? We got a chair on the balcony from another neighbor. Jen says, good morning. Dave says, the hardest thing... What is this? The hardest thing for me was my mom showing up with 100 cupcakes on Easter. My gosh. So see what you're doing, Jane? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it's difficult. Like that temptation is so challenging. And it comes don't get me wrong, that comes from love and it comes from wanting to please people and pamper and offer gifts, but and I'm not even saying don't do that, but for me, like the hardest part is that it sits there for days and weeks after. So once that holiday is over, you put the treats out and everyone enjoys a piece of cake. And we probably have too much candy at those times, but then it has to end at some point. And if that doesn't end, then it carries on. So then you have Easter for 2 weeks instead of Easter for a weekend. And we know Easter weekend, right? Actually, our Easter is 2 weeks because the treats and candy and pies and cakes and chocolates, they sit on the table for 2 weeks later. And then everyone is tempted and everyone struggles with getting past that particular time, which we should. Tacey said good morning. Tacey won a couple prizes from us. Dorothy, did we get those to her? Tacey, did you get your prizes? My apologies. We definitely took way too long to get those to you, but I hope you got them. Dorothy says because you were talking about people. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, for sure. I'm on the same page. Good morning, Suzanne. Suzanne jumped in here. Suzanne's in our sugar detox. She is ready to rock. Let us know if you have any trouble getting in the group, Suzanne, but I'm pretty sure you're in there. And any other questions I missed? Oh, Dorothy, that's just tags from Dorothy. Dave says veggie trays do great. Our get together. Chili powder. Veggies do they? Oh, we had a veggie tray. Your sister bought a veggie tray, didn't she? Last time where I was helping David move his family, and there was a veggie tray there. I think Tacey says I did. Thank you so much. Been loving them. Awesome. You're welcome. Thanks for letting us know. It's always nice to know when people get their stuff, and it's also nice when we have a lot of people pick up, which is nice. We have a lot of support from our community, and many people are close enough to pick up. So it's quite simple. It works really well, and Dorothy will put the packages together. I'll take the orders, and then I tell Dorothy. Dorothy puts the packages together. And then now she's been putting names on because, unfortunately, people don't always look at their packages. They're like, oh, and we have a box out front. It's a really nice box. We had Sue, a different Sue. I'm not sure if Sue's in here. I'm not sure which Sue is in here, but Sue painted the box for us. She branded it. It says, thanks for your support. It has our website on it, logo. It's awesome. So in front of the house in Olds, we put packages in the box, and people just go and grab their package and leave. So I have to arrange the pickup times. It's really nice when people come when they say they're going to come, because otherwise we got to bring it in and bring it back out. And then I got to send another message, hey, you still coming? Or rearrange another time. So it's nice when people just go and grab it when they say they're going to grab it and gone. And then it's also nice when people say, hey, I got my package, thank you. Other words, I'm like, I wonder if they picked it up. And then yesterday or the day before, the box was full, so we couldn't put all the packages out. So I was like, well, I hope these people come and get all theirs so we can fill it back up the next day. But it's been working out really well. And everyone is, for the most part, everyone's patient and understanding. And I have a bunch of people to get back to this morning after this live. So we'll get some more people in the group. It's going to be rocking. We're going to talk about green smoothies. We're going to talk about detoxing baths. We have a full 30-day meal plan. We'll kickstart that with 10 days for you. And you can do the 10 days after. You get 2 free ebooks. Dorothy and I are going to go live every single day. We're going to do giveaways and prizes for participation, for showing up to our lives. These go crazy. They're so much fun. So if you're interested in our sugar detox, you're more than welcome to jump in before it's too late. Good morning, Ben. Ben jumped in here, and Terrence jumped in here also. That's my phone I'm looking at. Those people that try to sneak in and don't say anything, I see their names on my phone. That's why I'm looking over there. But over here on my computer, I'm just playing. It does. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. But my mom says, Dave, the offering of food is a gift from the heart. Fortunately, sometimes it's not all that healthy. Unfortunately, sometimes it is. Morning, Vanda. It's definitely a gift from the heart. But good morning, young man. Ben says, good morning to you, Ben. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for saying something. Only because I called you out, right, Ben? I think people don't know I can see you. Well, before I didn't have the phone up. Sometimes I used to go live on Instagram, but I didn't. It didn't really. I don't have the nice camera background, and it wasn't all that beneficial. But anyways, I like this. I like this platform. So the challenging part is that get a haircut. Tell me to get out. Are you razzing me? Razzing me on my own show. Come on, Ben. You know what's funny is that, and this has nothing to do with Ben's comment. I can take jokes, and I usually get it from the women, Ben, and the few men that come in are usually on my team. But you know what? Here's something I wanted to discuss, and it's a difficult subject to talk about because I'm not one of those people that I feel like it's important to share your opinion in a professional and proper manner. And I also feel like there's nothing like you should be able to speak your mind without people putting you down for it. Everyone should have their own opinion. Everyone should be able to share their opinion. And it's a really difficult time right now, especially in Alberta, where most of you are watching from, in Canada. It's a struggle right now, which is really crazy because it's the exact opposite here in LA. Everything is opening up and people are happier and excited, and Disneyland's opening up, Dodger Stadium's opening up, and it's the opposite in Canada right now. So I know it's a very difficult situation. I just think, and what I'm trying to relay is that I think there's a proper way to go about things, and there's not such a proper way. And if you share your opinion, I feel like you should be able to share your opinion without being put down about it. And it's just it's so challenging right now because there's so much anger and there's so much frustration, and I understand that and I feel that I'm on the same page. But I shared something, how I felt, and then someone said a bunch of verbally vomited on one of my posts, and all I did was I didn't put any time or energy into it. All I did was hide their post so no one else could read it, and then I blocked them. and I've done it many times in the past. I have a long list of people that I've blocked because I don't put up with that. But it's so interesting to me that people feel like they can go in someone else's space and they can say whatever they want and do whatever they want. It's like they don't know that they can be blocked or restricted. So, and this is one of the topics I wanted to discuss today, is that it's a difficult subject to talk about because there's so much anger and there's so much frustration, and most of that is fear-based. I'm not even saying that your emotions are incorrect or wrong. Everyone is right whatever their standpoint is, they feel like they're right. But to go about it in a better way and understand, like, if you don't, oh no, you're going to block me. No, I'm not going to block you, but don't worry about it. Keep it coming. Let's see what you got. No, but what I'm saying is that if someone says something, I feel like sometimes we welcome drama and we welcome that anger and we encourage that, and that's not to say that you shouldn't voice your opinion. I think we should. And that's not to say that whatever you stand for, you should protect. I'm trying to be as politically correct here as possible, because the only reason is because I don't want this page or this conversation to turn into something negative, because we have too much negativity already. We need to find some positivity in this world right now, especially depending on where you live. But so if you want that drama, if you welcome that drama, then open up a conversation with someone, and then you can, if you want to do it openly on social media, then you can go back and forth. But understand you're welcoming more drama and you're welcoming more negativity. And also understand that some people love that. I've come across a handful of people in my life that they love that drama in their life. They look for it. And if you offer that to them, even for a short amount period of time, they're going to ask for it. They're going to welcome it. And they're going to encourage it. They want more of it. They have a very negative state of mind. And I'd imagine, well, I can tell you for a fact, at least some of the people I've come into, their whole environment was very negative. People says people hide behind their keyboards and think they can say anything, but it's true. But the thing is that you don't have to participate if you don't want to. So if someone says something, it's like some people don't realize that you can block them or restrict them. Or so for me, it's like if someone comes into my space and they start to say things that I don't agree with, it's fine as long as it's done in a professional adult type of manner. If it's quite immature and they're just spewing things out, I'm not going to participate in that. And all I do is end the conversation and I'll block them and I'll never hear from them again. And if they come to one of my other platforms, you can block them too. It's very simple. I just think that it's challenging to not participate, especially when there's so much emotion. But you have to understand that you are either encouraging those conversations or you're not. There's only two sides there. You're either encouraging, and I suppose some people are say, well, we need to encourage these conversations, which is fine. But I think there are specific places that you can go. There's specific groups. There's specific conversations that you can go to have those conversations, to have those debates. But if you don't want to participate in those things, you don't have to. And I just think it's a really challenging place to be right now because it's easy to lose ourselves. Easy to lose ourselves in the emotion. It's easy to, I don't know what they say, fall down that rabbit hole, and it's endless. And I'm telling you from my own experience over the last few days, earlier this week, I was like, I got myself mixed up and I almost I did lose myself for a moment, for a couple of days. And I was like doing some research and I joined in some conversations that I probably shouldn't have. And I wasn't like angry. I wasn't going on other people's pages and telling them what I think about them. We don't know what it's like being in anyone's shoes. You don't know what it's like being in anyone else's shoes but your own. You don't know what it's like being a business owner's shoes if you're not a business owner. You don't know what it's like being a customer if you're not one of their customers, for example. I could go down the line, but we don't know what it's like. And I think it's really hard to look at other people's perspectives and other people's sides. And don't get me wrong, I have very strong beliefs and very strong feelings, but I feel like there's a time and place for them. And it's important to go towards the people that you relate to so you can have those conversations and so you can feel more secure and so you're not constantly attacked and you're not constantly bombarded with negativity. And like I said, some people like that drama. They want that drama. And if you want that, if you're that type of person, then I'm not even telling you not to do it. Just go to that place and do it. Go to that place where you can vent and you can be angry and you can express your frustration if you want. I don't know if that's going to be positive for yourself. And like I said, I'm right now while I'm saying this, I'm trying to think of different people that have a very strong standpoint on one side and the other side. So the division is challenging for me. We've been divided. We've been divided for many different reasons and different purposes, and it's family and friends, and it's our communities. And I feel like we have to find a way to come together. And that's the only thing that's going to change this. Anything could happen. Like absolutely anything could happen in this world, but it's how you react to a situation is what changes it. So if you want to make a difference and you want to change, you can react one way or you can react another way. I just don't know if there's just certain ways that aren't going to improve anything. They're not going to help anything. They're only going to cause fuel to the fire. And there's so many things that I don't understand either. Don't understand why things are happening in this world. I don't understand them. And I think that's probably the most challenging part for a lot of people, because people will come to me and they'll say, what's happening with this? What's going on with that? And how do you feel about that? And I just say, like, everyone has a different idea. Everyone has a different perspective. And I'm not even saying one's right or wrong. I'm just saying that you can decide to contribute. You can decide to contribute negatively, or you could find a way to spin it positively. You could find a way to shine light. You could find a way to cast shadows. There's always a choice. It doesn't matter what happens, you can always choose. So if I could reach out to at least our community here, and I'm not saying don't participate. I'm not saying don't post, don't share what you believe in. All I'm saying is that if you don't appreciate what someone's saying, you can either scroll past it or you can unfollow them. It's very simple. Or you could jump into a conversation that's going to ruin your next 3 days. And maybe you want that. If you want that, then enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can, because I'm hoping the negativity won't last. At least I hope that. And it's interesting because I know some people will be attracted to that negativity and they look for it, they search for it. So I've said this many times before, like when customers come to us, we already know if they're our type of people. We already know if they're have a negative type of mindset. We already know if they're going to start complaining or if they're our people or if they're not. We know. So we choose the people, we choose our customers, we choose the people we want to spend more time with. If I know someone is genuine and they're positive and they really want some help, I'll spend more time with them. If I know someone's coming to me just to complain or just to rant or just telling me about my prices are too high, then I'm not going to spend a lot of time with them. I'm going to say, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Maybe try this option. That's probably better for you. So what I'm saying here is that you can decide, regardless of what's going on, you can fuel the fire of negativity. You can attract more of those types of people in your life, or you could try to find a positive mindset, a positive aspect. And that's either way. And like I said, we all know very clear that there is division. You could choose either side. Yes, unfortunately, there's sides. You can choose either way to what you believe in or what you want to go about it, or how you want to go about it. Either way could be positive or it could be negative. So all I'm asking here is that consider the positive, and is that taking you closer to your dreams and goals and aspirations? And I felt like it was a slippery slope for myself personally to go down a negative path. And then I just kind of had to snap myself out of it. And I was like, you know what? That's not me. That's not my personality. That's not the type of person I am. And that's not going to take me any closer to the direction I want to go. It'll only take me further away. So you make that decision for yourself. And I hope that you guys make the right decision. And whatever is right for you, that's your decision. It's not anyone else's to decide. Have a good day, Vanda. So that's what I have for you. That's what I have for you all this morning. If you are interested in our quick recap, interested in our sugar detox, shoot me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I got a line of people I'll reach out to. If you're watching and have said something, I will get back to you. And if you need to send me a message to remind me, please send me a private message. That's perfectly okay. And then, so we also talked about treats. Does anyone know what holiday is coming up next? We talked about briefly about making better choices. And let's say if it was a holiday or a weekend or a birthday, if that ends, once that ends, try to move on. Don't let that hang on forever or for weeks to come. And then what else did I have for you? I think that's it. Oh, Mother's Day's coming up. So Mother's Day's coming up. Thanks, Suzanne. Of course, I should know Mother's Day's. So when Mother's Day comes up, maybe you get some flowers, maybe you got some chocolate, maybe you get some chocolate cake. But then when after that weekend is over, we're gonna end it this time, right, Jane? We're gonna end the chocolates. We're gonna end the cake on the table, and then we're gonna move on and get back to our regular lifestyle of living healthy. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you can find some sunshine today. I hope you can find some ability to share some light and attract some positivity in your life. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch up with you guys another time. Take care.